In 2015, he had only $10, was in debt, and had nothing to eat. 3 years later, he was already the owner of a company that had 30 employees and sold more than 3,000 sandwiches a day in the streets of Chile. The protagonist of this story is Matias Leiva, a Chilean who at the age of 17 traveled to Santiago de Chile to train as a priest. After 4 years in the seminary, he decided that this was not what he wanted to do with his life. At the age of 21, he was forced to seek his daily sustenance in different jobs. He was a teacher and worked for different transportation companies for salaries that did not exceed $700 a month. Due to his low income and poor management of his finances, at the age of 33 he was bankrupt, as he had a bank debt of more than $12,000. One day in October 2015, after receiving payment for his job at a foreign trade company and after paying his debt assessments, he had $10 left in his pocket. It was barely half of the month, and he did not know how he would be able to subsist until he received his next payment. Desperate about the situation, the first thing that came to his mind was to go to the supermarket and buy some ingredients to make sandwiches and sell them on the street. With the ingredients purchased, he made a total of 12 ham and cheese sandwiches, which he went out to sell on the street full of shame and nerves the next morning. Fortunately, he managed to sell them all before 9 a.m., the time he went to work. At the end of his working day, he bought new ingredients and went out the next day with his best friend to sell 18 sandwiches. Along the way, he observed the behavior of people and his direct competitors. Matias knew that for his business to succeed, he had to stand out from the other street vendors. That day they sold all the sandwiches and together with his friend, who later became a partner in the business. The next morning he increased the number of sandwiches to 20 units and sold them all within a few hours. They repeated the formula day after day. Sales soon exceeded 50 units a day. After 3 months, they had to hire their first assistant. Little by little the business was taking shape. Matias decided to name his company Insolence, because according to his own words, you have to be insolent in the face of life, to act without shame or fear, in order to find happiness and enjoy every day. He decided that to go out to sell, they should wear their best clothes and a distinctive apron and hat that would differentiate them from other vendors. The sandwiches were carried in a wooden basket, and each vendor treated his customers with the utmost respect. Soon, the Insolence found its market niche among the passers-by in downtown Santiago de Chile, people who were in a hurry, looking for something for breakfast that was healthy and cheap. As shops were open until 10 a.m., many people ensured their breakfast with Insolencia's products. As his business grew, Matias adopted the philosophy of helping people in difficult economic situations by allowing them to join his company's team. Each person had an important role, from quality control to sales management. Gradually, the company became more formal and came to have its own facility to prepare the sandwiches and offices to plan the sales strategy. Every day, employees met at 5 o'clock in the morning to prepare the gourmet sandwiches they were going to sell that day with fresh ingredients. Within an hour of leaving for downtown, all the sandwiches were sold. A year after his business was up and running and providing him with his own salary as a result of the Insolence sales. In 2017, a local newspaper came across the interesting story of Matias and the Insolence and did not hesitate to do a report. Soon, the business started to become well known in Santiago de Chile, and the repercussion of the newspaper article attracted the attention of national and international media. This undoubtedly boosted the success of the company, which by then had 40 employees, was selling more than 3,000 sandwiches a day, and was generating profits of close to $100,000 a month. At the end of a report on a national network, Matias received a call from the mayor of Santiago de Chile, who informed him that they were in trouble. The Insolence, despite being an incorporated company and complying with the obligations of law with its employees, was illegally occupying public space, since according to the laws of the city, the special permit for street vendors is only granted to people who meet certain conditions of vulnerability. It was impossible for the Insolence to be accepted by the laws if it did not have a physical location and did not occupy the public space. Thus, the mayor's office began a persecution of street vendors in the city center, including the Insolence team, whose baskets were confiscated and who were fined. A few months went by until the company accumulated a total of $100,000 in fines, which ended up bankrupting the company. To avoid major problems, in August 2018, Matias decided to stop the activities of Insolence in the streets, a heavy blow for him. his partner, and the more than 20 people who were part of the business. Today, Matias Leiva gives motivational talks all over Chile and is planning to open his next food business, but this time much more established to comply with all the government's requirements. While he finishes fitting out the premises, he works alone, selling on walls outside a subway station and selling to his old customers who order from social networks. Matias shows us that you don't need a lot of capital to start a profitable business, as long as you find a relevant need to cover or a problem to solve. In addition, we see the importance of standing out from the competition, providing a quality product or service, being attentive to comply with legal requirements, and focusing on customers to achieve business success. To support the channel, please like and subscribe to continue enjoying more videos.